Hello and welcome back to another episode of the This or That podcast. Today we'll be talking about two films that explore the violence of Mexican cartels and the drug trade associated with it. As always, I'm joined by Callum.
Hello.
Jules.
Hello.
So the two films today we'll be talking about are Sicario and No Country for Old Men.
So many old men.
There's
no country for them anymore.
So I'll just
Genius.
give you a quick sort of overview of the plot for both films so we're clear as to what's going on. So first one, Sicario, came out in 2015 and follows FBI agent Kate Mesa, who is recruited by a government task force to help take down a Mexican drug cartel. As the operation unfolds, Kate is thrust into a morally ambiguous world of covert warfare where the lines between right and wrong blur. And then for No Country for Old Men, it came out in 2007. It is a tense crime thriller set in West Texas. The story follows three main characters: Llewellyn Moss, a hunter who stumbles upon a drug deal gone wrong and takes a briefcase full of money; Anton Chigurh, a ruthless hitman determined to recover the cash; and Ed Tom Bell, a sheriff struggling with his place in a violent, changing world. Let's start with Sicario first.
Excellent.
I have watched this maybe twice before the podcast, and then obviously watched it again as a refresher. But I think the main thing that always gets me about this film is that I forget how many recognizable faces there are in the film. Like every time I put it on, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, I forgot they were in it.
Daniel Kaluuya's in it.
Yeah. So you got
I love my boy Daniel Kaluuya.
Emily Blunt,
He's great.
Benicio del Toro,
Yep.
Josh Brolin,
Yep.
who's also in No Country for Old
Brolin
Men,
versus Brolin, yeah.
Victor Garber, John Bernthal, Daniel Kaluuya, and then Raul Trujillo. I think, like, as a film, it's brilliant. I love the sound, like the music, the sound design for the movie is fantastic.
The sound editing in any of Denis Villeneuve films are incredible. They're so good, they make me fall asleep to almost all of his films.
Well,
I have a real issue watching it, like Blade Runner, Dune. I still haven't finished Dune because it sends me to sleep. It's like the low vibrations. I watched Blade Runner 2049 in the cinema. I was a little bit drunk, not too drunk, and honestly, I was like, because the big speakers, I was like, being vibrated.
Rocked to sleep.
Yeah, rocked to sleep, not vibrated.
That's different.
Sounds like quite the cinema.
Quite the cinema experience.
Good speakers.
But yeah, the sound design and composition was by a guy called Johan Johansson.
Strong.
Which is an awesome name. And other works he's worked on are The Theory of Everything, that film about Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
He also did the music and the sound for Arrival as well,
Which is a Denis film again, which is a really good one.
and then I think he actually he won a load of awards. I think he won an Oscar for the sound.
What, on this?
Yeah.
Prisoners, which is another Denis film.
It won awards. So yeah, best original score he won an Oscar for.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Fair
Which
enough.
is pretty cool.
Fair enough.
And
That's pretty cool.
there's a lot of things in this film. It's really gritty. It's really tense. I like how the reason I bring up Johan Johansson is because I think the music and the sound plays such a massive. I mean, they play a massive part in any film you watch, but especially in this one, the opening scene where it's just silent, and then like they're just walking into a raid basically.
The opening scene is cool.
And then the suspense is what I really like about it. It holds you in suspense quite a lot, I find, anyway.
The characters moving across the screen, like the SWAT team. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah. Overall, it's a pretty good action movie. I'd say a very good action movie with some sort of deeper themes to it, like,
Thriller.
Yeah, thriller.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the main focus of it is the drug trade and the cartel, and it goes to show how it's sort of like what's the saying, where you cut the head off a beast and then another two grow back sort of thing. It's just like
Hydra.
Yeah, it's like this unstoppable machine that just keeps moving, and there's no enemy or
it's position that she and her team, the FBI, right?
She's FBI, yeah, and then Brolin's CIA.
Which is a revelation towards the end of the film. I mean, you have your assumptions, but that she her and her team are treating symptoms, whereas they're going to, find the cure, as it were, which obviously isn't real, because how can you win the war on drugs? You can't. I have to say, I should really love this film.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about this film is like right up my alley. I love Denis. I love crime stuff, and I love the inner workings of crime stuff, or like maybe some corruption on the good guy side. And these are all Western themes, because these are both like neo-Westerns, which are like Westerns that take place after the big surge of Westerns of old, and they deal with more morality than a guy in white and a guy in black, those kind of basics. These are more grey area and complex. I just don't like this film. I didn't like it when I first watched it. Didn't like it again. And I can't think of a good reason why. I can't. Because there were good moments in it. I really like the reveal of all the dead bodies in the first raid.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think it's cool. Obviously, it's horrible. It's horrific.
But it's a good way of getting across how brutal
the cartels are. And they are. They're fucking horrible.
Mm-hmm. And that continues on with the themes of the reason why the coolest character in the film is doing what he's doing and like helping out the CIA take down.
Yeah. And I should like him as a character. Emily Blunt, I find a bit dull, and I like Emily Blunt. And then obviously Daniel Kaluuya is not given anything to do. His character isn't given anything to do.
Well, I think that was part of my problem with Emily Blunt's character, was that you've
asked for this, and you're an FBI agent. You shouldn't be that in the dark.
But she was sort of saying, I don't know very much about the cartels, but also wanted to direct the operations on the cartels.
Yeah.
Like she was like, no, you don't know what you're doing, but neither do I. Let me rule.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that doesn't seem like a very your character seems
the
quite
the bomb going off is cool at the end of that first raid.
They
find that underground
the booby trap shed.
Yeah, that's cool. And there's loads of cool moments. I know the scene on the Bridge of Americas or whatever, when the border.
The traffic
is famous. Like, it's
scene.
famous as like, this is cinema. Don't like it. I don't think it's good
I've noted down. I thought it was quite cool, but I've noted down that the cartel should get tinted windows and stop being so obvious.
Yeah.
Why are you doing a hit where you've got all your machine guns out ready to go, all tattooed up in shit cars?
I don't find it tense enough. Like it's. Because it's obvious. I'd rather the cartel aren't idiots. So, and this is like really important. So I can't just imagine them sending like gangbangers
but also,
that obviously have guns. And the guy's just holding a gun. Yeah. And it's like, and obviously they'll get past border because of corruption. They pay off, their guy on border control so they can get in, and that's fine. But like, get some more normal looking cars, like a black or grey, not red, bright red. One's bright red and one's green.
Yeah.
Quite noticeable.
Also, they probably have good cars.
Yeah.
And would border control let them through? Because they know this big convoy. It's this big convoy going through the borders in Mexico to get from one place to another. Why are they not in helicopters, and why are they in this huge? They spent
because
it's
like, it's off the books.
Yeah.
But they've got a helicopter in the. It's not that off the books. They've shutting down most of Mexico.
I know.
This huge area.
Juarez, isn't it?
Huge convoys, loads of police blocking all the roads off. It's not very secret.
No.
They pay the money for a helicopter.
But like the cop that's following them in Juarez, that Emily Blunt, that's
the one that she kills.
No, there's a cop car that is parallel to them.
Yeah.
That's a corrupt cop.
But then she almost gets killed by someone who looks like they're a SWAT.
Yeah. So there's someone on the SWAT team.
Is that what that's meaning?
Yeah.
Because I thought that was a little, for me, I was a bit like,
Is
that definitely, what is that?
Whereas I feel like that would have been better if you knew the guy, you knew the character.
A little bit more.
But they're all just in tactical gear and balaclavas and masks and helmets.
You'd want to meet them and be like, oh, this guy's this person.
So when he betrays,
he could be quite quick.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wasn't quite clear if that was just an assassin or something.
Yeah. So like, I think there's lots of good ideas, but it just doesn't gel with me.
I mean, unfortunately, I have the same position, really.
But it should. This is like the exact type of film I would want to watch, and I don't get it.
Yeah, it's interesting that like you can't nail down specifically what it is. It sort of makes it seem like it's
all good.
It's got all the right things, but just not necessarily in the right place.
The direction's good, the acting's good, like you were talking about the way they cross the camera. I think the cinematography is good for the most part. A lot of his films are, pretty beautiful. especially when he gets Roger Deakins in to do Blade Runner 2049, like gorgeous shots and that. But like, yeah, and it's all very realistic, and they don't do the thing when you go to Mexico and you put a yellow filter over the lens. Like they don't do that. It is grounded and real, and yeah, I'm trying to think of a film that's like similar.
I don't think it's clever enough.
Argo's just coming to my mind because of that guy.
I think it's one of those. It's one of those movies where
it's really highly praised, though.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah,
as being like
because I didn't
cinema.
do the research. Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it is pretty highly rated.
And like, I think it's a really good film. I enjoy watching it for an action thriller. It ticks all the boxes for me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just say that I made a little note for Jules because I thought you might like this because it's a little bit of history.
A little bit of history.
So I think Jules might enjoy this. But I had a look to see where the word Sicario originated from.
Yeah. I mean, they say it in the film.
They say it in the film, don't they?
It's
Isn't
the opening credits.
Oh right, yeah.
It means hitman.
Yeah. But where it like originated.
Yeah, they do say.
They do say in the
They do,
opening
but I
credits,
didn't
don't
write that bit down because I didn't make any notes until after the film.
Well, I have it right here.
Yeah, what is it?
So it's the Latin word Sicarius, which means dagger man. Described by
assassins or something.
described the Jewish zealots who engaged in terrorist activities against the occupying Roman armies in Palestine in the 1st century AD.
Well,
and
there
then
you go.
in Spanish today it means hitman.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it has historic notability.
Notability.
That word.
I don't know. Did you guys watch this film with subtitles?
For
For me, it was a must.
Oh,
Couldn't hear what people were saying.
No, I think I just turned it up.
I'm not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, if I watch something with my partner, I have to put subtitles on because she can't read. I mean, can't.
Power play.
Yeah. I'm like, this will confuse her.
Watch me look.
I used to have to do that as well, and I hate doing it because subtitles distract me.
Oh, 100%.
Because I read them.
Yeah, me too.
I can't. I really have to try and unfocus from them and get back to the film. And it's a visual medium, so like when you don't understand the language, and I do watch foreign films, and that's fine. I think a lot of films, especially this, they'll put in subtitles if they want you to understand certain things.
Yeah.
So then it's also a thing of I'm not meant to know what they were talking in Spanish.
Yeah.
It's deliberate.
Yeah, but
So
the
then
subtitles don't cover that, I don't think.
Sometimes, see, that's the thing. It's different as well.
Oh,
when you put closed captions on subtitles, it's sometimes different. Sometimes it will do
Depends
it.
if
Sometimes it won't.
Depends if they've looked at the subtitles as part of their production, maybe.
But now they're just generated on AI, so it will just pick up and translate whatever.
I think like another thing that I like about this film is it doesn't follow stereotype of an action thriller where it's like good versus evil, good versus bad. Like you can argue that like cartels are like the main, thing in the plot that they're fighting against, but then because Brolin and Del Toro's characters are both operating in like grey areas and they're like corrupt as well, there's no sort of...
I don't think they are corrupt.
Well, I think number 2 shows they are actually corrupt, but I can't remember.
Well, because they've been given the signal by the government.
But what I mean is that there's no clear villain, and I quite like that.
Which is the point of this genre of neo-Western kind of films. The literal definition is Western style story set in modern times, i.e. civilization instead of the fringes of the new frontier. But it is also meant to be like things of redemption, and like some of the things that it said was like Logan, Mad Max, Hell or High Water, which is a really good one. Book of Eli is even considered a neo-Western.
Is it?
I think Logan's like kind of the perfect neo-Western because he does bad things. Because like he kills all those guys with his claws and stuff.
With his claws.
But obviously, and he's selfish and all that stuff. But then he saves the kids, and that's kind of what these films are meant to be. It's like not necessarily good people, but maybe they do good things or they get turned around. But in this one, I'm like, it doesn't really happen. And Emily Blunt. She just seems so naive. The character seems so naive.
I think they make her out to be too naive.
Yeah, and Emily Blunt's sick. I love her.
But
She
I think
seems to be
that's
really
the point.
screwed on.
They make
Bring
her
her
the
in.
patsy, don't they? Though that's the whole point. Is that
But she's in the FBI.
yeah? But if we're thinking about like FBI to CIA, like that's a big jump in terms of clearance and what they'd work on compared to the FBI is massive.
I mean, she clocks that it's the CIA straight away. She thinks it's the CIA straight away, doesn't she? Because she questions whether.
Well, yeah, because there's a question, isn't there?
And they only need FBI. So the difference is the FBI works domestically, which is in America, and the CIA works internationally. And to have clearance as a CIA mission, whatever it is, you need an FBI agent on the team to be able to work domestically, and they need to work across the board, both sides of the border. But they don't tell her that they're CIA. No one tells her. Which I feel like,
I don't know why.
Is that allowed? And why? Yeah, just tell her, because then she'll be game.
Well,
and if she isn't game, find someone else. Someone will be game.
Well, because that was the whole thing, wasn't it? It was kind of a switcheroo of like, oh, they brought me in because of my knowledge of the cartel. Shows herself to not know very much about the cartel, and then they're like, yeah, we didn't bring you in because you're very good. And it's like, but she
That's
is
what I
very
mean.
good.
Like she's an FBI, and so is Dan Clear. They're partners, but they just seem like riot cops.
Yeah. It's the whole hierarchy, isn't it, of like, oh, FBI make police look stupid and CIA make FBI look stupid. And I just don't think that's right. I think they just do different jobs.
Yeah, they do.
So I don't enjoy the kind of one better than the other, because it's just not. It's like MI5 versus MI6. It's like
it feels very
different
old
things.
for this film. It's 2015.
I don't think
it
they
feels
need to
like
make
an
people
old
look stupid,
stereotype. It feels like an old stereotype.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they do a good couple episodes of that in like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where they have away days or whatever, and it's like FBI's the top, and they kind of go fuck
and there
you.
is that kind of thing, but the thing is, it's playing into that idea, which I don't like.
And also, it's America, so who fucking knows? Because they're all mad.
I did actually. One of my notes is America is crazy.
America is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we're getting there, but we're getting there. We're coming after it.
The landscapes are pretty cool as well. I like the landscape.
I mean, I'd love to go to Texas.
I'd love to go to Mexico.
I'd love to go. Yeah, I'd love to go to Mexico. Not Juarez, maybe. Maybe.
Mexico.
Yeah, I don't want to be shot.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, so Juarez is what, straight across the border?
Yeah.
And they're just hanging people, decapitated, limbs missing.
Yeah, on the streets.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Well, it's the whole thing about the cartel, isn't it? Which it goes up and down in violence and this is part of the film basically, which is one cartel to rule them all. But one part of that is that they seem to be backing a Colombian cartel to take over the whole of the Mexican cartel, which I don't think is how it would work.
But I think that because I've in preparation for this, I've watched 7 series of The Shield, as you both know. No, I've just been watching it. There was like a thing in that of the US government actually looks back on the Colombian cartels as quite good in comparison to the Mexican ones, I think, because they were all about order and
stuff.
It depends on the individual cartel.
Yeah.
I mean, America is famous for backing one side over another.
But I think they look back on the Medellin cartel because they were like businessmen. Those brothers, I can't remember. Been a long time since I watched Narcos.
Narcos,
which is my frame.
Pablo Escobar is Medellin, and the other one was the Cali cartel, wasn't it?
No, he's Pablo's the Cali cartel.
Oh, I thought he was the Medellin.
And then he's
Pablo Escobar's from Medellin, though.
No, he's not.
Oh.
He's Cali cartel, and then Medellin is a big city. He's from like slums, the small town. So he's Cali cartel. He sets up that.
Completely wrong.
And then when the US kill him, the Medellin cartel, which I believe is these 2 brothers who are businessmen, they move in on the thing, because the 3rd season of Narcos is about
that's definitely
Medellin.
the story. I just thought it was the other way around in terms of names.
No.
But yes, I mean, because there's definitely more. I was just
and they
surprised
run it like a business. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's why.
And death
it
is bad
so,
for business. Like
that
kind
because
of thing.
exposure, and then you get the cops, and that was like.
I think one of my problems
Pablo's.
with this film is it's making out the idea of like backing one cartel of the other as like crazy new ideas, and like that's like a thing Emily Blunt would never think of, and it's like no, that's a standard procedure.
You've been doing
American
it for 50 years.
Is to back one side over the other.
And before the cartels, it was communist states
and dictatorships, and they do. That's what the South Vietnam versus North Vietnam, and the communists. So it's not just the idea that Emily Blunt doesn't know anything about
the Korean War. Is that?
Yeah, it's always all of them. They always back one. That's the same as any war. You back a side. So it's like the idea that she must know no history of her country and foreign policy because she's part of the FBI.
That's the
so
thing.
Why would she?
She's meant to be you. She's meant to be you, the viewer, the POV. But she's a fucking FBI agent. So
I just feel like she would know some history.
She's an FBI agent in Texas as well.
Yeah,
like
you've got to know some bits.
And she's taking down cartel houses.
Yeah.
So,
well, part of me thinks as well. Like, I know it's never really said, but like maybe, like you don't know how long. Or I might be wrong actually. If I am, I've totally missed this. But you don't really know like how long they've been in the FBI for them two.
Well, it seems like a while. They've been partners for at least a while.
And she has some history
because she's been divorced 6 months or something like that. He knows the old partner of Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
So they've been together at least a couple of years. It frames it almost like they came up together, maybe, because he's really protective over her, even though he nearly gets her killed. He's like super protective over her. But I mean, to be FBI, you have to go to Quantico. And all that stuff. So you're not really an FBI agent until I feel like you're 28 or something like that. And I mean, she's clearly like in her 30s.
Yeah.
Daniel Kaluuya is a bit older than us. In this film, he seemed fairly young. To me.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't really age, it would seem. He looks exactly the same nowadays. I mean, he was on a bit of a hot streak back then as well, because I think Queen and Slim, pretty much after this, Black Panther, and so he got really big in this kind of era, which is good because he's great. Get Out, obviously, as well.
Get Out's incredible.
Yeah, it just doesn't hit me, and there's no good reason.
I don't think it's clever enough.
I don't. Yeah,
I think it's just things that I'm already aware of that have happened. You know, if I was
even in 2015, it's like. Because that is the time of Narcos as well. Narcos was big at that point, and Narcos is so good.
Yeah, because Narcos actually explores the ins and outs of how it all works.
And real life.
It's a TV series, obviously, so it has got more
It's got more time to do it.
But I think it's trying to shed a light on corruption, and
I think all that stuff's already been worn. I think it tries to. It's a bit being like, look how clever we are. We've come up with something different, and I think it's been done.
Yeah, because like I'm saying with The Shield, like that's from 2000 to 2006.
Well, since Ronald Reagan, all that kind of. It's been.
No, but I mean, like as a TV show showing corrupt cops, especially. Like that's been done, and then Breaking Bad is 2007 to 2012. So that's very in.
And those grey lines, blurred grey lines.
And that's very specific on how things work, and even though it's like fictitious, but it's like here's how it could work with like Los Polos Hermanos and how you get the drugs across border, the meth in that case. Is it meth in this as well?
I think it's cocaine, heroin.
I think it won't be heroin.
It won't be heroin.
Oh, cocaine,
It'll be
cocaine or it'd be meth.
He says the thing, he says as long as 20% of Americans keep snorting it up their nose, then we will have this problem.
So it'd be cocaine. Yeah.
Which is an interesting point which they don't delve into, which is like, the problem with drugs from their perspective is the demand for it.
So big.
So they're always going to, and that's what they're basically saying is we can never sort this out because there is a huge demand for this product, which we've made illegal, and therefore there will always be people looking to supply it because there's a demand for it.
Well, it's the saying of how can you have a war on a verb or something like that. Because it's the same with like the war on terror. It's an idea, like in that case anyway. It's more of ideas, so it's hard to get rid of it. Like it's almost impossible.
What did you think of the scene where Del Toro goes into the cartel house?
Seems pretty easy.
It does seem pretty easy, and also the bit where because he gets the car of the guy, because the whole point is that they make a situation where they can get to the cartel leader's house, and he then kills the guy driving the car, and that car just neatly rolls up to the gates and stops, and he's not in the car.
He
comes out from behind. He just comes from behind. So somehow he's managed to knife a man in the neck and also make it so the car turns perfectly into a driveway and stops.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah. And it's annoying because in another film, I wouldn't even think about it. I'd forgive it or whatever. If it was...
I think
if I was more engaged, this is the thing about suspension of disbelief is like you do it at the start, and if the film breaks it, your suspension of disbelief, then you're gone, aren't you?
Yeah.
Whereas if it keeps you engaged enough, like you just go, yeah, it's fine.
Well, because the thing is, him storming a house on his own is like you'd have to be pretty good at what he does to do that.
Which he is, and he's said to be. And that's why he's mysterious.
But I'm taken out of it instantly.
Mysterious bad boy.
I was literally like straight away, and maybe because I was watching it to do a podcast on it, but I also watched.
You are analysing as well, aren't
but
you?
it wasn't that hard of analysis. I was just like, hang on, he's dead, and he's come out from behind the. How's he done this? And I was like, I was thinking about the pedals in my mind, and I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And then he shoots Emily Blunt, doesn't he, in the vest?
Yeah, which I don't mind that.
No,
to get away.
Just instantly, it's like bang, fuck off.
Yeah, that's direct, and then that. I feel like that's correct for his character.
Yeah.
Because he's so blinded
Doesn't
by
mess about.
rage because they've killed his wife and daughter. But, I mean, so he's Colombian. So he's... I don't remember. What was his purpose? What was his story?
So then the big reveal, spoilers alert, is that, like, well, obviously he is the Sicario. Alejandro is. Like, he is Sicario. And then... they're working, so the CIA are working with him because he works for the Colombian cartel.
Or does he work for the Colombian cartel? Or does he kind of... Yeah, I guess he does, because he's caught up in it. His wife and his daughter are killed. Basically, his wife and his daughter are killed by this
the Mexican cartel.
By the Mexican cartel,
leader,
yeah.
And he's driven so much that he will just do everything.
Yeah, so he seizes an opportunity to get close to the Mexican cartel leader.
But the link between him and the Colombian cartel... I believe I'd be like, on a balance.
He's a
yes,
hitman for the Colombian cartel.
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough. Yeah,
and then,
but it's not made. That's not made clear. I don't think.
But he's like the go-between between
I
the
think
CIA.
it is made clear, but I'm just not engaged.
So between the CIA, when Brolin says they're trying to take down the Mexican cartel, give the trade to the Colombian cartel, because as we were saying before, it was
take over.
It was in order.
Because back in the day, it was
order.
It's better to have one big cartel.
One big cartel that doesn't
fight.
Go around beheading people and whatever.
Yeah, because back in the day, the Colombian cartel were the top dogs because they made the product. Mexico essentially were the middle management.
Yeah.
They were mules, so they had the role to play. But then, with the... Because and it's America, eating its own tail because they took down the Colombian cartel in the first place, which then gave the rise to the Mexican cartels because they could now do it themselves. And there is Narcos Mexico with David Luega, who's great, and Michael Pena as well, who's also good. And the Mexican cartel started out with weed. That's how that guy anyway grew his business. Yeah. And then I didn't watch all of it, to be honest, so I can't go much further into that. And then you get El Chapo and all that stuff. So, it's a lot to know, and clearly we know too much to go into this film. Yeah. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Even though I don't know all of it, I know too much to go into this film and be like,
that's clever.
Because I'm more interested in the other side. The other side is far more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't.
Rather than a CIA operation, grey area.
I think that's still interesting.
If it's done better, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I still think.
But why can't I have both sides?
Well, wouldn't that
be
better? Bit of both sides, with the hitman being as part of it, but not explaining that much about it. You just love a montage of drug trafficking.
Yeah, I do.
There's
so many in Breaking Bad, and they're so good, all of them.
Yeah.
The way they're hiding the meth in the chicken brine, so good.
So good to hide it in the chicken brine.
Yeah.
So clever.
But I think.
Why do you think you like it so much?
I think it's because I just
defend yourself.
Yeah, defend yourself.
Defend your honour.
Because we're here and you're over there.
I'm over there.
How can you be a bit close?
I don't know. I think I'd take it at face value rather. I mean, I know we're supposed to analyse this stuff, but I would just try and think of it as an average Joe watching an action thriller. It's pretty good. I'd recommend it to someone if that was their vibe, like their kind of film.
Some of the scenes are quite cool, like the
Yeah.
one where they're doing the raids on the tunnel. I think that's with the night
At the
vision
end, yeah.
and stuff. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Vision,
And
yeah.
I quite like the scene on the bridge. If it was done better,
Yeah.
and it was more like it just wasn't like two cars full of gang.
It's not
members.
tense enough for me, but it makes it out to be really tense.
Yeah.
But you have 4 or 5 big black US SUVs full of mercenaries. They're army. They're from the army, don't they?
Yeah,
they get made from the
they're
army.
a Delta Force,
Yeah.
Delta Task Force, yeah.
Yeah, so and they've all got all the equipment. Like, they're gonna win. In my mind, you only see 2 cars pull up.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
not enough.
And they're not even pulling up; they're just sort of in traffic.
Yeah,
I wasn't even clear if they
Because
were
surely
actually doing anything or not.
because like the car that's broken down, that should be the cartel. But it's never said it's the cartel. That should be the cartel going,
Yeah.
we know what's happening. If we get them on the bridge... So there should have been someone at the broken down car, and they get closer and closer. For me, that would be more tense. They get closer and closer to the broken down car, and the guy's going, oh, yeah.
Well,
So maybe some innocents are helping them, or what you perceive as innocence. There should even be there should be white people that are working for the cartel on the bridge.
I thought
there should be I
thought what was going to happen is that those 2 cars with the cartel in were they're just cartel cars, and they weren't there to do anything. They would just happen to be cartel cars, and then they would shoot them all and be like,
maybe they were
by
just
accident.
running guns.
Yeah, running guns, or just
Yeah.
you're just part of a gang.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then there would be a scene like a minute later where they actually get attacked, and it's a proper fight where it goes mental, because it was just like, oh shit, that wasn't it.
And all they do is they just unload into the cars. They don't even get out of the cars. So I don't even find it that. It's not even that interesting. A shooter. I came here for a fucking shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they
You know?
literally say, don't do anything, and the guy then goes to his gun with like 5 guys machine, and then they say, oh yeah, leave it, and he's like, all right, and then he like turns away, and then he goes for his gun. It's like, I know the cartel like violence, but if I was a member of the cartel, are you just gonna?
It seems like those guys are
tactical?
pretty proven themselves as well, because they're covered in the tats.
And
So I
they've got
feel like
big
they're not
guns.
newbies.
Exactly, but they literally are like, right, I've got 5 guys with assault rifles pointed at me. I'm gonna quickly try and draw it and shoot them. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's not going to work,
And
is
all
it?
the prisons are corrupt, right? So there's all this corruption. So if you're a cartel member, probably take your chances, go to prison, then get let out again with a bribe. Would be my thinking. Not let's try and kill.
Well, they're on the bridge going to America, so they've gone past the checkpoint. But also, I don't know. I've never been on. I don't know the policies of that border. So it becomes difficult. I would imagine if you've gone past Mexico border, but then you get checked again, don't you?
Are they going? What?
So you're
are
not
they going
quite
from
in
one
America
base in America
yet.
to one base in Mexico to another base in Mexico,
No.
Sorry, what?
or are they going?
The bridge.
Yeah,
It's just border. That's the border.
that's the border.
That's the
Yeah.
bridge of Americas, I believe.
So
Yeah.
before that, they were in America.
They went from America, Texas, went across the bridge to that facility, got the guy,
Yeah.
went through Juarez.
But the shootout on the bridge was in Mexico.
It's the border.
I thought that.
It's the border
I
bridge.
think they're technically on Mexican.
I thought they were just going
soil.
from one place in Mexico to
That's
another.
what I
place.
mean. Yeah.
So, but that's
Because you haven't
so-
got to the other checkpoint.
Yeah, you're like the lines, like you
okay.
said before, the lines are blurred.
Yeah.
And that's why the cartel can get on the bridge so easily, because that's the Mexican side, and they
Are they going from Mexico to
have.
America?
They're going from Mexico to America,
think-
so they can bribe that side, which is Mexican officials,
Yeah.
and that side is American officials. So they wouldn't. The plan is to not get there, because they don't want to get there either, because they wouldn't be let into America. They don't want to go to America.
No, it's-
they want to stop them on the bridge, because that would be the most chaotic. It's the pincer.
That's not
point.
how I saw that at all. I thought they were just in Mexico,
No,
and they were going from on a bridge in Mexico.
you
that
knew
happened
it.
to have
You knew it was a
checkpoint.
checkpoint, though.
Yeah, but countries have checkpoints within a country. Like I would imagine that countries like Mexico have internal checkpoints.
Yeah, but that is specifically the border control.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I didn't pay attention enough to this film, but I am shitting all over it. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Ed likes it because he likes it.
Pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
like I think that's a pretty
Fair
fair enough answer, to be honest. Like,
Sometimes
A
I
lot of
like
people.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, our answer is that we didn't like it because it doesn't click with us. So I mean, that's not the best answer.
We don't like it because we don't like it.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
that's
my
fine.
opinion is that I think it thinks it's really clever.
I
don't think it is.
I think I get where you're both coming from, and like, and don't get me wrong, I agree with some of the things you're saying. Like, is it the best film in the world? No. Is it the best action thriller in the world? No. But it's decent. Like, I think it's decent.
If you like action scenes,
Yeah, and I mean, I'm a big fan of Benicio.
he is the best part about this film.
I think the way he plays the characters in any
I like
film.
Josh
I've seen
Brolin in it.
Yeah, Brolin's good.
Yeah.
Brolin's good.
I just don't like him. I
He
think
doesn't have enough to do, but I think the point in the second one is them again. No Emily Blunt. So maybe we prefer the second one.
Do you like the guys in flip flops? Is that Josh?
That's
Brolin
Josh
as well?
Brolin. That's Josh Brolin.
guys.
And then
That's a massive
the
flex.
mustache guy. He's in the car
Yeah,
with the
forget his name.
and he's killing all the
serious
the
one.
Mexicans.
That's like
No, he's a playful one with Josh Brolin, and then he becomes very serious in the car. It's just clear that no one wants Emily Blunt there, and they just need her, and it's just like I just feel like you could have got.
Why have you chosen her?
Yeah, why have you chosen?
Because
her?
that's what I mean. They've chosen her ostensibly because of her cartel knowledge.
They chose
it.
it.
Turns out
They
not.
well, they
Why
chose
choose her at all.
They
Just
chose
choose
her
someone else.
because that house that they found the bodies in is like a big bust. I think that's why. And it's their ammunition to prove to the higher ups of whoever that the operation they want to do is worthwhile because look how many dead bodies we've just got.
like
I think that house is chocker.
I think they
and that's one house.
Well, they were definitely. I mean, yeah, they definitely stumbled upon. They got a tip, went to it, and stumbled on more than I think they bargained
Yeah.
for.
I mean, who's doing the drywalling for that? I mean, honestly.
And then, well, their cartels probably they've got a
plasterers,
drywall
they've got-
guy.
yeah.
Well, the people that were in there, that's who's doing it.
Well, I guess so. Yeah.
Well, no, it'd just be illegals, I suppose, because they're coyoting them
It's a
across
horrible
anyway.
job, isn't it? I've got a plastering job.
But also the people that's in the walls,
Cash in hand.
the people in the walls. I don't know if it's discussed in the film, but I presumed it was people they've coyoted over illegally, who then work for them, processing drugs, whatever, and then. Because they're ruthless, they just fucking kill them when they don't need them anymore. And
Yeah.
then put
Either
them
that
in.
or because they didn't look like opposite members of the cartel.
But the whole place
But
is.
it's hard to know because some of them are
cartels.
decapitated. They're all undressed.
Yeah, they could have been other
Yeah.
members.
Well,
of
the whole place
cartels.
was empty when they busted it, wasn't it?
No, there was a guy in there 'cause they shoot a guy.
There was
don't
three guys.
Oh yeah, of course.
'Cause they
Yeah.
Because the
into
guy
it.
who
She almost
shotguns,
gets shot.
yeah, she gets shot. She nearly gets shotgun, and that's how Daniel Kaluuya sees in the wall the face.
they? Yeah, because there's a hole. He
Yeah.
shoots a hole into the wall.
I think there's 3.
3. But you could argue
I remember
that.
a big fat guy and a skinny little guy.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a third. I don't know.
I mean, what did you guys think to?
Did you like the other film I picked? Fucking hell,
Fucking
God.
Did you think to John Bernthal when he popped up?
Oh, sorry.
Shall I say that again?
No, sorry. I thought we were moving on. I thought that was a joke. I was making.
Bernthal.
John Bernthal is the guy, the friend of Daniel Kaluuya that kills her. He's also a Sicario.
Oh
I
yeah.
guess.
Well, he's a corrupt cop.
Yes,
He works for the Mexican cartel. Yeah.
He's got some dirt on him or debt or he's been corrupted in whatever
Some
method.
way, yeah.
I thought at the time. I mean, I love John Bernthal. I think he's a really good actor. His, I mean, it's a meme at this point because he's the Punisher, Jules. I don't know if you know that, but he's the Punisher in Daredevil.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, but there's lots of memes of his. And he does it. He does it in all his films where he's like, what is it? No. And he's like that, and he's like swaying his head, and it's like he acts the same in most parts he does.
Yeah,
but he does it really well. Like he can, when he's crying and like just beating the shit out of people and getting beaten. Yeah, I think he's always great, but I don't like the reveal.
No, I don't either.
I think it's too quick.
Yeah,
and
it's also super obvious.
And he's an idiot.
Yeah.
What? Do you know what the reveal is? How she clicks on? Were you awake?
It's a band.
Yeah, cool.
Band.
Cool. The band that the money is
Wrapped up in.
right?
Instead of a rubber band.
Yeah, it's like a cancer. The rubber, whatever it is. Louis
Charity band thing.
Charity band.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Massive.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not. I've got the reveal is good, but too quick. That's my no.
I don't know if the real. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's.
Once again, it's the tension isn't long enough.
But
The tension in the scene isn't long enough. She realizes it. It's about, and then he realizes that she knows. There's no moment to be like, is he going to pick up on the fact that she knows? And is there gonna? It's too quick. It happens too quick. There's no question of.
Is this just a cancer band?
Is this just a cancer? Yeah. Exactly.
Because to be honest, they are quite. I mean, those bands are quite popular.
Yeah.
And also, why has he got one of the bands? Because
because he's been paid off. He's been paid off
with
the money, so he just kept the band.
I don't know if the cartel. I mean, if you're the cartel,
but you're an idiot. You're an idiot if you keep. But you're an idiot. No, because she is part of a small circle who knows that.
I know, but at the same time, if you're the cartel, you'd always just use. If you're criminals, you just use
an array,
or you just use rubber bands. Something that's not identifiable and is super common. Surely is.
Yeah, they would. Yeah. No, you are totally right.
Do you want to have something that's going to identify you as a cartel? Probably not.
No, we're going to use this very specific band, which is like this bluey pink,
bright
colours.
There actually are.
Instead of just rubber bands, which are a lot cheaper to buy en masse.
Yeah.
Which we make in Mexico.
They're really those bands are really small
thick
and tight.
Yeah.
So to wrap money up in them they would just close it up.
Yeah. No, you're totally correct.
I think it would have been cooler if he was wearing it instead of it just being
on his table.
Side.
It should have also, maybe he was wearing it.
Because then he could have been this
under his shirt.
Yeah, and
it could be explained earlier that is an actual charity.
Yeah.
So he could try and explain it away, and there's the tension.
Yeah, exactly.
Does she believe him?
Yeah,
it's poker. It's poker at that point. Isn't
she
it?
instantly was he's going to kill me.
Yeah, he could have reached.
And she doesn't play it very well, does she?
No.
Fuck it. Once again, you're an FBI agent. You've been to Quantico. You learn about fucking killers and all this shit, and you can't fucking play it cool.
Also, if you're working to take down the cartel as part of the FBI, I would expect them to do a bit of it's tense time training and you've been captured by the cartel and stuff because that
is part of the training. That's exactly what I mean.
So in this situation, maybe just play normal and then walk gently over to the area where your gun is, pick it up and shoot him in the head.
You'd be trained in torture technique, you would be. Sorry, you would be trained in that, but also to endure torture because you wouldn't give anything because you can't give anything away.
But yeah, it would have been cooler if he was wearing it and then he reached for something and the sleeve of his shirt lifted up and it revealed it.
But unfortunately, he's looking sick and he's got his sleeves rolled up. So
that is true.
He does look incredible.
You can't argue against
cowboy outfit.
And I was going to say, he is like you say.
He's so charming.
She didn't play it. She didn't play it cool.
I get it. I get why you want to sleep with him.
Not only doesn't she not play it cool, she plays it like
I get it.
Panics. She does what I would do, which is panic and fucking run for a gun and try and shoot him.
Yeah.
Imagine if she was wrong. There's a high chance if that's a popular armband that she's just shot a random dad of two in the fucking head.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, it's meant to be a really tense film, but for me, there's no actual tension in it.
Yeah,
which is crazy because I feel like Denis can do it. Have you watched Prisoners? His film with Hugh Jackman and where his son gets taken. That's a really tense film.
That's great
because you don't know how far Hugh Jackman's going to take it.
No,
that's the point of the film, and it's great. And Arrival's good. You don't know what's going to happen in that. Yeah,
I feel there are tense moments. Like the ones in the tunnel could easily be really tense. The gun shootout on the bridge could be tense, but and the apartment scene could be tense. But they're just dealt with so quickly.
Yeah,
that it's there is no tension.
There's no time
because
for
it's just
tension.
bang, bang, done.
Suspense.
Yeah.
Suspense is suspended. If you don't suspend the scene,
there's no suspension.
There's no tension. There's no suspension.
And the fight scenes are dealt with so quickly. It's they've got guns, bang, they're dead.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Great.
Dealt with.
Yeah. I mean, okay, well, let's talk about the other one. No Country for Old Men.
Now you can edit my joke from earlier.
And me laughing.
Because I won't say it again.
So, again,
I only do one take.
This has got a really good cast. Tommy Lee Jones as Sheriff Ed Tom Bell. Javier Bardem as Anton Chigurh. Josh Brolin, again, as Llewellyn Moss. Kelly MacDonald.
She's great.
and Woody Harrelson. And then there's a few others.
My boy.
But yeah, I mean, this one is more about...
He's more of a classic Western type that he just comes across something.
Well, he's out hunting.
He's not actively engaged. He's just a passerby that gets thrown into a situation
and
far beyond his understanding.
But he does deal with it quite well, and then not well.
And then not well, yeah.
And then not well at all. He does I'm like, fair play, some clever stuff there. Yeah, makes sense. That's interesting. Yeah, you know what you're doing. You're thinking about this in real time. What are you doing?
It's kind of that of...
and you fucked it.
Yeah.
Don't go back. He's probably dead.
And it's gone.
Damn you, hubris.
Because why does it make sense?
It kind of does make sense. He is flawed in that way. Because he does the clever things, he thinks he's clever enough to outdo Sugar, but in reality, he isn't. So that's his undoing.
Who's definitely dead.
At the start.
That's how he gets found out, because he goes back and gives... That's the only thing in the film, and I'll put my cards on the table. This is one of my favourite films that I've watched in the last couple of years, I would say.
Have you never watched this film before?
Oh, I have, but I watched it when I was 16, 17.
Yeah.
And I'd forgotten how bloody good it is. And I enjoyed it this time more.
Oh, wow.
Than last time, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it is fantastic. The cinematography, again, like the last film is great. Probably a bit better in this one, but I think like this story, No Country for Old Men
is iconic. It's iconic.
Yeah, but it tries
for a reason.
Yeah,
it tries to
This one tries to be clever and is clever. That's what I would say.
I totally lost my train of thought.
Do you need a break?
No, it's good. I mean, this story follows more the people as well. Sicario's about cartels and corruption, blah blah blah. This follows the stories of the people who live in those areas, and the sort of cartel are more in the background, apart from obviously when he stumbles upon the deal gone bad. But they're not like the forefront of the story. The story is him trying to get away. Tommy Lee Jones's character sort of being in a world that he doesn't understand anymore, because he's from a time where everyone respected the law, and now it's become this sort of area where everyone is
the impact of the drug trade,
doing mad shit.
Yeah,
everyone's moving mad still.
Well, I think he's probably just like
they're making mad moves.
Mad moves. But I
think he's just tired. He's done his job for a long time, and he's like, nothing's necessarily getting better.
I also like how he's just like, I'm just old, and it's fine, whatever, but it's not for me.
Probably ready to retire now.
Yeah, ready to do it. And I mean, I've heard the joke before of it's called No Country for Old Men, which is specifically just about him, really, and his uncle. It is his dad. Okay.
Wait, at the end.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, it's his uncle at the end. Yeah, sorry.
I'm about to say.
But his dad was sheriff in the other county.
Oh yeah.
And then he was sheriff at the same time as his dad when he was 25.
Yeah. There's not too many old men in this film. It's just him.
No, it's just him. Yeah.
Woody Harrelson's pretty fresh-faced in this, to be honest.
He looks like a baby.
Especially compared to now, yeah.
He looks like a baby.
He does look like a baby. He looks like a big baby. With a cowboy hat on.
I expect this line. It's a big baby.
It is.
He looks like a big
I know exactly what you mean. He
does, though, doesn't he?
He looks very smooth.
Yeah. Like he's just come, straight out.
And he's barely in it.
And he's smiling all the time.
Every time I watch this, I feel like he's in, like, half of it. He's in 15 minutes.
Yeah. But he steals
in 2
those scenes.
He's great in them. But also, he turns out to be shit at his job.
Literally, instantly, it's like, oh, damn it. You're behind me.
Oh, fuck.
What?
You're in my motel room. How the fuck?
I used my real name to check in for a hotel and you found me.
Yeah, you need to be really careful of this guy. He's the best hitman ever. Ah, shit.
Yeah. you need to be careful about...
He's behind me.
You need to be careful about this hitman. He's found every motel room you've gotten yourself in the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to stay in the motel you were staying at originally.
Yeah. That'll throw him off.
Where he came and rented a room and killed.
Yeah. I mean,
see, this is the thing. We're picking apart this. It's stupid, but we were so engaged. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
and it's a very good. It's a very good point because it It's so engaging and also it's so bleak, but yet you never feel.
Well, the author of this also wrote The Road, and I don't know if you've watched that.
I've watched that, and I've read the book.
That's bleak squared.
And it's one of the it's the most bleak film in the world. So McCormick or whatever his name is, yeah, he seems to be.
The book is way worse than the film. Yeah, like it is.
That uses your imagination.
I think I know one scene difference, which we won't say.
No,
but it also might be wrong. But yeah,
it is. It's a tough read. That's for sure.
I'm not going to do it. I have wrote. This is a dad film.
Yeah,
classic
totally.
Dad film. That's in there, and that's why
Yeah.
we all love it.
And it's sort of like if you mention it to any dad, they'll go like, "Oh yeah."
It's the joke of it will be on, and your dad will stand there for 15 minutes with his arms crossed, going, can't quite commit to this yet because it's on the TV, so there's adverts, so it will be 3 hours long. But I will stand here for a long amount of time, going, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. And then he slowly, backs towards the sofa, and then and then just like,
and then you just
squats but forward, and then he slowly sinks into the back end, and then it's 3 hours later to watch the entire thing.
Oh no, it'll be the
He's
credits. So it's like,
yeah. And it's like, I thought you were meant to be out in the shed.
That can wait.
Look what for old men's on the TV. I got it on DVD. But it's on the
It's an
TV.
old man like me.
I could watch it whenever I want. I could watch it from the start, but I'll watch it for you.
I could
watch it half an hour.
It makes no difference to me. I know it. I know it so well.
And then like doing the quotes. My dad always used to do that. Whenever we watch a film, he'd always like there'd be a scene, and he'd like he'd like look at everyone and say the quote, and everyone would be like, "All right, we get it." You've seen
that's not cool.
Yeah. It's so embarrassing.
You're embarrassing me, and no one's here.
You are letting me watch this very violent film as a young child, so I will.
And also like weird violence.
So it is cool.
Well.
You are cool. Thanks, Dad. You are cool.
I mean, just to say how successful a character Anton Chigurh is.
Yeah, he's iconic.
Javier Bardem won an Oscar, a Golden Globe, and an award from the Screen Actors Guild for Best Supporting Actor.
I mean, this could be one of the best, like performances. It could be one of the best performances I've ever seen. He's so terrifying.
Yeah,
Right.
he's
His
so
face
menacing.
Instantly,
I think I've just seen it so much that I can't think back.
I agree with Jules. It is very, very, very good and very well deserved.
I believe him
all of
so
his
much
stuff.
as a character. He's just terrifying.
Yeah.
Fair
And
enough.
it's the way I think.
I mean, he's proper psychopath.
Yeah,
because he has like his own set of rules that he follows, and it's much better than some others that we've talked about. Yeah.
But I like the choices of the stuff that he uses that was written in. So like the air tank and the bolt, so it doesn't leave a trace of bullet casings or they can't identify the wound.
The way he dispatches that guy in the car is just like, look,
he's like,
let me just put this in.
Yeah, just stand there for me. Done.
I don't know what you mean, sir. It's time to close. When do you close? Around now.
Around now. You don't know what you're talking about, do you? If you said that to me, I'd be like, no. I'm very frightened.
You gonna kill him?
Take what you want.
You're making me very uncomfortable.
Well, I need to know what I'm betting on.
But
I need to know what I could stand to lose.
Everything. Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
The dialogue's very good, but like the Coen Brothers are fucking incredible.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's almost like the Coen Brothers, because I love Fargo and I love the TV show, especially Fargo.
Yeah, it's great.
Like Coen Brothers made a couple films, maybe got some acclaim here and there, but like not taken too seriously because they were still throwing jokes in, and they were like, watch us make essentially Fargo, but we rip out all the comedy and we make it the most tense, bit bleak thing ever. And everyone goes, oh, yep, fair enough. Wow.
Yeah.
It's because
This is
before this is Fargo. Another film you really like is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I think that's before this as well.
Yeah, I've watched that.
Like, I get the sense of, especially like watching, there's like 5 seasons of Fargo now. These are all the characteristics of a Coen Brothers Fargo film, really.
Yeah.
But there's just no levity at all.
No.
It's just relentless.
I'd say they're as like iconic for me anyway. They're as iconic as like Quentin Tarantino kind of has.
Oh yeah, Coen Brothers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
100%.
They made great films.
Yeah.
They made some bad ones as well, but everyone has.
Yeah, but man, the overall acting, like Tommy Lee Jones is great. I like him in loads of things. I think he's
But he's really good in
class
this.
actor. Apparently, he's really grumpy in real life, but that doesn't surprise me.
Him in the Jim Carrey feud. Yeah,
Was there a Jim Carrey feud with him?
yeah, but Jim Carrey's a lot, so I get it.
More feud, less feud, maybe just more annoying.
More just the complete total opposite of personalities.
Yeah,
like,
tone it
look
down.
at them, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Brolin's good in it as well. He's really good in it.
Yeah, there's a quote which is, I've just put young men and hitchhiking, like, because he's been told young men like you shouldn't be hitchhiking or whatever, and I go, young men? You're not 35.
Yeah, he's doing.
Because that's the thing with his wife as well, Kelly MacDonald. She looks so young in this film,
Yeah.
and he looks 35.
Yeah,
So it looks a bit. But I don't think he is that old.
That relationship
He just looks old.
He
Yeah,
also his
because
voice is very, old man voice.
yeah.
I guess
He's
it's also
gruff.
just the look makes you look older.
I was
He's
gonna
gruff,
say,
he's out on the desert constantly.
Yeah.
All of
He's a
his-
gruff old guy.
I've got a note. I rate all of his fits. All of his fits are great. His clothes.
I've got cowboy era for like both these films as well because John Bernthald's rocking it.
But
as well.
in that era, in those places in America, they do dress. Like,
Yeah, I know. No,
so-
sorry. What I mean, the reference of cowboy era is that's the aesthetic.
Yeah,
of
the aesthetic.
Now.
Yeah.
Very much so. All
But
that
it all
Western
has
stuff is
always
back
been
now.
the aesthetic.
But now it's coming into like
I've got a mustache.
I've got a mustache.
When they go into the cowboy shop, I like that.
yeah.
I like
It's
the
when he
cowboy
goes
shops.
in
Yeah.
the.
I like them going back.
But what do you
again.
need the hat for? I've got this kind of hat and that kind of hat. I think that's from something else.
It's,
Actually.
it's
No,
when
they do talk about the hats.
It's
Oh,
when
yeah,
he
that
goes
is
in
that,
the
yeah.
hospital gown and he's
Yeah.
like, I bet you don't get anybody coming in with no clothes. And he's like, no, sir, that is peculiar. Like, it's just so straight. That is weird, yeah.
That's so Coen Brothers. That bit of dialogue is like the closest it gets to a joke.
Yeah.
But it's like so like that's Fargo right
Yeah.
there.
It certainly is strange.
Yeah,
Something
like
that.
someone's
Yeah.
broken out of hospital because like in the latest season of Fargo she does that. Then, yeah, that would be a
And it's having funky
thing.
weapons as well. You know, even the
You-
shotgun's got a
the
silencer.
shotgun
That's what I
massive
was gonna
silencer
say.
is
The weapons he uses are so goofy, but
Well, there was
also
no-
so cool.
There was
at
no
the same
silencer
time.
for a
Makes it
shotgun.
interesting.
I know, yeah.
It's
They-
invented.
They had to make it, didn't they?
And now a company offers shotgun
Yeah.
silencers.
But the thing about silencers is like it's a bit of a lie. They're basically for ear protection for the shooter. That's what a silencer is essentially.
I think
It does obviously, make it
Suppress the sound.
I think
The
it suppresses
original-
the flash as well, which for covert stuff.
Yeah.
But it's more. Apparently, it's more so for the user. to
in
protect their ears.
firing ranges. But it's
Yeah.
also that was maybe the original purpose. But then it's then like, oh, actually, we should then.
Like most things, it's been taken to be used for bad
the
things.
CIA are like, shit, we could use them for our operation.
Yeah.
Bastards. But
yeah, the
the shotgun silencer is because it makes you
Because
instantly
it's
go,
a
what's that?
it's a silhouette, isn't
Yeah.
it? You
Yeah,
see
yeah.
first, which is so like.
and it makes you
oh.
think like, what is that?
The sound.
Because he has it in both hands,
it
doesn't he?
makes
Yeah.
He has the shotgun
is
and the thing.
incredible.
Well, it makes everything a bit more iconic, isn't it? It's
I
like,
wanna. Yeah.
It's like,
I wanna.
It's like bouncy all.
Yeah.
Because
I really want to know.
spoiler
how they
alert.
made that sound.
Yeah, spoiler alert. It's when he shoots Woody Harrison, isn't it? And it's like, boom,
And the sofa like goes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
think
it
he's
like
got
goes
those two
back a little
iconic
bit and
sounds.
then
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
back.
yeah. Huh?
he's got the oxygen tank, and
Yeah.
then he's got the shotgun, silent shotgun.
Yeah.
Boom,
And
And
just
then-
walking around, you don't know which one because the silhouettes almost look a bit similar as well, so you don't quite know from the
Yeah.
silhouettes what he's walking around with. Are you going to get bolted in the head?
When
or
he
shotgun?
finds him in that the second hotel,
When he discovers the tracker.
yeah, that's
Which he
really-
should have done. He's done everything
honestly.
really well.
Why did
apart
you
from
not?
the
Why
tracker.
did you not?
In the original
casing? I would have just chucked that. Yeah, taken
because
the
it's
money.
in the cash. It's in the cash, right? But
That would be a reason to go back to the original place. That would be the reason. Instead of taking water, get the money out, take the case because you figured out the tracker's there, and just chuck it back into the mix and then leave.
or just break the tracker.
And then, oh no, Well, yes, and which is what he does. But maybe he's trying to be clever because he thinks he's clever, and that's his character flaw.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'll put the tracker back, and they'll never suspect
I think he should have
a thing.
just found the tracker thing. It makes sense for him to find him and all that kind of stuff. But I think there is a flaw there in he's done all the thinking.
Yeah,
and trackers were a thing. You know,
yeah, but I don't think he would.
But he's not a digital. He's not a digital man.
Literally, I was going to say, he doesn't.
Maybe. He's a hunter.
Technology for you say he's done well, but all the things he's done well are the things that he is good at, which is outside and hunting
technology,
and
getting away
and whatever.
and then,
but he probably in his mind,
which is the same as Javier Bardem, but he is modern.
Yeah,
and that's. Once again, No Country for Old Men.
Yeah,
he's an old man, and this is the new killer, modern killers, and they're ruthless, and they have all these advantages over you, and because he's psycho as well, so he has no remorse. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
he'll kill the person standing like you couldn't use a human shield in front of Sugar, could you? Because he just fucking shoot him. You know.
And but even just I mean, if we rewind a little bit, if we go to the opening sort of sequence with Javier Bardem, the bit where he's like put in the police car and taken to the station,
and then gets
and then
the handcuffs.
You see in the background him like stepping through his handcuffs, brings his arms around, and then it's the perfect timing of it's like phone down, and then he knows
it's almost. I don't even think he makes it. He said goodbye, but he's just about to get it in, and then he gets
and he drops
strangled.
He gets absolutely, and then you can see the boot marks, everything. It's just You know, it's a strangulation scene, which is not uncommon, but it's
horrific in the detail of it, and then you see his eyes, his mad eyes,
his face, and he's like looking, not looking at the
because the person's a thing, so it doesn't matter to him.
And he's got like like puffed out cheeks, and his eyes are mad, and then
he knows how much power, because obviously he's done this a lot. So this is just matter of fact. He knows how to get out of this. Because he's the same. Obviously, spoiler again, but the same person that hires Woody Harrelson hired him. The guy from Barry, who's quite good. He shows up in quite a few things, I think. Yeah. He's always quite good.
The Man in the City.
Yeah.
But I think like that scene's really cool. That one always stands out to me because it's like that sets the tone. Do you know what I mean? For that character, especially
efficient.
Yeah. And it's sort of like fuck me. That's the first thing he's done.
Lots of dialogue, which is kind of saying something, but also not a lot.
But lots of silence.
Intercut with violence, high levels
silence,
of violence.
But like the one when he's doing this surgery on himself, that's just a long scene of just no dialogue, and I'm completely zoned in on it.
Yeah. It was like that scene's fucking horrible. There's another one where the bit that I got the most sort of tense about, that I completely forgot about. There were bits in this film scenes especially, that I'd like sort of forgotten about. And there were one where Tommy Lee Jones's character like goes back to the crime scene after they find Llewellyn, and he's sat on the bed, but Sugar's in the corner.
Is he in the corner?
I mean, you see him
because you see him in the corner, but then he's looking around the flat, and no more is made.
But the lock's been popped out.
I don't know if he was in. But I was a little bit confused by that one, of like whether or not he was there or he was there previously and then left. Because
I think that's the point.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. They leave it all sort of open-ended. Like even right at the end when he goes to see
because they don't show
wife.
Both of them in the same shot, do they? So
no.
You don't know for sure.
And like they leave it.
That's so heartbreaking in the end. It's so heartbreaking.
Yeah, it does not end nicely.
So she is, unfortunately.
Yeah, and he just uses people to just go about his business as well. That poor chicken guy. It's fucking dead.
Can you take the crates out of the bed?
What?
Yeah. That guy's so friendly.
I know. Just that's the thing about all these American people he meets. They're just all just like, "Oh, how you doing, partner?"
Well, because they're all the old men.
Yeah, all just getting shot.
Just getting fucked.
They have no understanding that how much danger they're in.
Yeah.
And then you have the action scene with Llewellyn where he is getting chased by the cartel, and then they let the dog off on him, and he goes into the water. That dog is just gliding.
Mate, that's a pit bull at like
just
beast mode,
gliding through the river.
Like. Absolute mate. When you see the dog swimming, I was like, "There's no way I would outrun that dog." Absolutely
Can't even outswim
no way.
I'm not a good swimmer.
And yeah,
I mean, he's swimming one-handed,
and you just
isn't
see
he?
the
So,
pointy
fucking hell.
ears, and it's fucking going for it. And it's such a just a
You
unit.
can just see its head gliding through. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
you know.
I
He's having a
did-
great time.
I did
he's
feel.
enjoying
I
it.
did feel really. I mean, obviously,
I didn't.
anyone would feel horrible watching it, but when I know he had to, otherwise the dog would like
Rip
rip
him
him to
apart.
shreds. But when he shot the dog, there's always anytime something bad happens to an animal in a film, I always just go, oh,
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah,
it
for sure.
I absolutely hate it. Even if the animal is like,
But I mean, also, I don't
it's not the
I don't
dog's
like people
fault.
being
The dog's
killed
been
either.
bred to be nasty, and
In that scenario, I don't really care. But I have stopped a film because of a dog being killed because I couldn't take it. So, there's different levels.
yeah.
Different levels.
Yeah.
But there's the coin flip is obviously the most iconic thing about his character too, like how he takes
Call it.
fate into his own hands, and he's
Yeah,
playing
and,
God.
and that's really good with Kelly MacDonald at the end. And she's like, it's not the coin. The coin isn't choosing. You're choosing. You've already chosen. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I think, she's really good in it. I really like her on a rewatch for not many. Haven't watched this for many years. She's really good in it.
That scene also is like, it gets you so, like you say, it's heartbreaking. And for me, it's heartbreaking because for a split second, you think she's got through to him. Like she says, you're not. It's not the coin, it's you. And you see him like sort of ponder that for a moment and be like, "Fuck," like sort of like. And then you think she's got him. Like she understands
He's in
him,
too
and,
deep, then.
and maybe
He's in too deep.
maybe he'll let
The first person who's ever understood him. And
and maybe
therefore,
he'll let her
and
go.
therefore she deserves to live.
Yeah,
But then
then it's like
no.
and then in a heartbeat, that's all dashed, and
He's like,
But he has that
actually,
again.
no, fuck
check the
you. This
shoes
is what I believe.
and
No,
get T-boned.
Yeah, man. He gets away though
But he does. But he has that thing again, almost with
with
the
the
child.
broken arm.
Yeah, you
Because
okay there, Mister?
Because as soon as I take the cash and the child's like, you can just have the shirt, and you can see him being like, oh, well, that's quite nice.
But
But take
no,
the money.
everything is transactional.
Yeah. So he has to force it,
Yeah.
which is sad. Question. Just so if you were in the scenario of Llewellyn, what would you do?
The sheriff.
No,
no,
Llewellyn, who takes the money.
Takes the money. So you come across it.
You take the money, and then you thoroughly check the bag and the contents of the money.
Put it in a hole. Mark the hole. Leave it for a bit.
I would.
No, I'd just take it.
I'd just take it.
I'd just take it home, but I wouldn't.
I wouldn't put. I would do.
But
the same
I
with
would
this
check. But I would check the bag. Obviously, you find the
Yeah.
tracker. You break the tracker.
or leave it.
I would then take the money to somewhere.
That's what I mean by putting
Trying
it
to
in a
think of
hole.
my
or leave it
real
somewhere
life. I'm
for a
trying to
bit.
think of my real life now. Yeah, well,
You'd have to split it up. You'd have to like.
Well, because bills can be marked and stuff.
Well,
as
that's the thing. You need to check it. So after that, you need to get like a UV light, check it for any markings in that form, and then
Get someone else to spend it.
And then you'd probably want, because it's American currency, you can literally wash it. Because that's like a thing in Breaking Bad. I mean, I think he gets petrol on it.
But
or
would you
something.
give out some
But-
money to like a random person to see when they
No.
spent it, if anything happened?
No,
Just
I
give it
would.
to, like,
No,
some, like, a
I
random
would. I
person.
wouldn't fuck over someone else. I would just. I would.
Give it to Jules.
I would.
Happy birthday.
Here's $10.
I would. I would.
Yeah. Go crazy.
I would check it in any means I could, and obviously we have the internet nowadays, so there's probably a lot you would be able to Google and make sure.
Check-
I would
check
Google
serial
on
code
a
or something.
old device on a public network, so I
Go
could
to
not
a
be
cafe.
scanned with none of my information, like a formatted
Incognito
old.
browser.
I genuinely
because they
think-
still track your internet
of course,
search
yeah.
providers.
I genuinely think
That's why it's
you
got to be on
wouldn't
a
even-
public.
Yeah.
It's like using a public phone.
Go to a library.
That's why you always used a public phone, not a mobile phone or your landline back in like.
I don't even think
gangster films.
you'd need to worry about the bills being marked, considering the situation you found it in. No one's going to report that that's gone missing.
Well,
Do
you
know
don't
what I
know.
mean?
You don't know if it was a sting operation because it's all gone
Yeah.
wrong. So you don't know if
because
something went wrong.
I would get caught instantly.
Yeah, you're making that very.
I would be like, I'd get it, take it. I would
Straight
do
to the
exactly what
Corvette
Callum
dealership.
said, and I wouldn't take it in the original thing. In my thinking, I'd be like, it's obviously this has all gone tits up. So whoever was here has
How are you going to carry the
dumped
money
out
if
the
you
money.
dump the bag? Just to burn it all?
Well, no, because what I'm saying is I check the bag, find the tracker, leave the tracker.
But you're in a very tense situation because you've just found a load of money, loads of people are dead around you.
Or
but he wasn't Russian, was he?
Then you find the guy that's alive.
I probably would
He
take.
wasn't alive.
I don't know if I would take all of it. I'd
was a
probably
guy
take
alive.
some of it.
Oh yeah, sorry. But the guy with the money wasn't alive.
Yeah. But he was still worrying. He was like, where's anyone else around here?
Well, then he walks.
Your heart would be pounding.
Yeah, I mean,
My heart would. Yeah.
I
regardless.
definitely,
Josh Brolin's wasn't.
I definitely would take it for sure.
But he doesn't know about trackers and that.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
That's clear.
It looks like it were. So were they bands of 100?
Even though he is a
You're not
tracker,
doing any
he
checking.
doesn't know
You're
about
just spending it
trackers.
instantly.
Yeah, you are
You'd
right.
find the tracker in the
You
Corvette
are.
dealership as you buy the fancy car.
Because you could shoot. Because you know.
He's analog tracker,
Analog
not digital
tracker,
tracker.
yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
But it's not even a digital tracker. It's an analog tracker because it's a fucking radio.
Oh yeah, of course.
So it's
switchy,
analog as
switchy,
well.
isn't it? Yeah.
They've been around for fucking since the like World War II. It would be a thing in World War II, maybe.
Probably
Yeah.
not that small, old.
Do you know the?
No.
You know
but
the bit.
the technology.
Potentially.
You know
Well,
the
it just came on the radar
first-
then. Though, so I don't know.
You know the first motel that he's in,
The motel, yeah.
First motel, yeah.
and he
The Regal, is that the one?
and he undoes he like confuses
Something
the
like
fuck out of the lady on the front desk asking
Yeah,
for
it's
like
like-
multiple rooms, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And she's like, "In my mind, I'm just like, I'm paying you for it, so don't ask."
The motels get the arse end in America with
Yeah,
films.
yeah, true.
They're always in the
But
butt of
I like how
shot up.
well he gets obviously puts it in the air vent, the case in the air vent
Yeah.
and stuff, and like that. Oh yeah, that was another scene I forgot about was when Anton turns up because he's got the BP. This is when he's still got the.
Oh yeah,
tracker.
he's already been found by the cartel.
That's what I was. That's the bit I was going to say when like Anton bursts through the
Because
door.
Anton kills the cartel members in his
room.
room who have already used the tracker to find the bag.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
of the groups, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
which then alerts Anton. There's other things
People, yeah.
at play
Because that's
there,
why he goes and kills them.
and kills Big Dog
Because he's like, you keep hiring people to do a job.
that you've hired me to do.
Well, I think I think he. Well, this is the thing. We don't know who fucked over who in that deal. Presumably, the white guy fucked over the Mexicans in that deal originally,
But it's all
The
isn't it
shootout
all
happens.
cartel? All the people dead were.
but it's his money. I thought it was his
Either
money.
way, I think
thought it was a
everyone
buy because there's drugs there.
Yeah, there's a big stack.
Yeah,
where
there's-
did the
So it's a buy.
Brown
the gang,
powder
the gang,
there, isn't
the
there?
gang, another gang come and take the drugs, I guess, because the drugs are gone later.
No, just the cartel comes because
Yeah, but the drugs are gone later.
yeah, by the cartel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So then, but then the white guy, who's he hiring? Is he hiring the cartel or is he
He's
buying it from the cartel?
Yeah.
And the cartel
Well,
come and take their drugs back because they're
I mean,
there.
realistically, doesn't matter for the film, does it?
Not really.
One thing I
Once
was
again,
a little bit
because it's so engaging, doesn't matter.
one thing I missed and like I still am a bit unsure about is, you know, when Anton goes back to the drug deal gone wrong with those two police officials.
So he.
Like, what-
Yeah, I don't know
are
who
they?
No, because
Yeah, are
he's
they police officials?
That's what I mean. I don't know
yeah.
because are they like high up police, corrupt police who have hired him? That's where it all gets a bit confusing because
I
I'm like,
think they're affiliates of the Office Man. Would be my guess
But then why does he
Right.
kill them?
because
Because
he's
maybe
mental.
that because
yeah, it doesn't need a reason, really, does it?
Because
No,
he's
he
got
don't
the
need a-
transmitter. He wants to work alone, I guess.
but
Might be,
if
yeah.
he's been hired by businessman,
Maybe he wants the money.
do you think in the end he was going to just take the money anyway?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, why is he?
I was a little bit confused as to why he killed them.
But once again, it just
Maybe
doesn't,
he thinks they're idiots. I
just
don't know. 'cause
doesn't
they-
matter. I mean, he thinks everyone's idiots because that's another thing with psychopaths is that they think they're better than you. No
Also,
matter,
he
like-
takes any opportunity when he's alone with anyone to kill them. That's his thing.
Basically, it's saying that so those two guys that he kills originally hired him, and then they doubt his ability to carry out the job, so he just kills them because they doubt him. And
When did
then
they doubt him?
because they
in that scene.
in that
In
scene.
that scene.
And then it's like Shigura basically moving up the ladder to then get to the the top dog, basically.
Very quickly.
Like gaining information from them, they then become.
So was
no use to
Sugar
them.
meant to be at the original deal then?
No, I think because the thing that gets me is that was he supposed to go in after it had all gone tits up
And get the money.
Well, he gets the transmitter device from those two guys.
Oh yeah, of course.
So
yeah.
the big businessman knew it was going to go south because he's probably done something that is going to make sure it's going to go south, and then Sugar is an outside associate with no connections to him, so he hires him to go in after the fact, make it look like a random person has picked it up, which is then what actually happens. Bring it back to him, and then he gets the money and the drugs.
Could be.
Both of them. Yeah, I don't think he wanted to spend his money. I think that's probably what it was. But once again, it is meant to be ambiguous.
Or it's a deal that goes south and they need to find the money and they just go and try and pick up the money.
No, but they know the money because he has the tracker.
Yeah.
So they know. So that's why it's his. It's definitely his money because he's put the tracker. And Javier has the.
Because the cartel
has the tracker.
are giving the drugs over for the money.
Yeah, the cartel.
Why would
the
you track
drugs.
the money unless you're trying to get the money back?
The cartel is. Yeah, they are tracking it as well, aren't they?
But the.
So who's?
I think that the point is that it's supposed to all be like a bit of a
confusing.
Yeah.
It's a drug deal
Mystery.
gone wrong.
Someone's definitely worked it out.
But it's some sort of
There's so many things on Reddit, but it's like a fucking
so.
essay, and I'm not going to read it.
Can't be bothered.
I know another little scene that I forgot about that I really liked was kind of cool imagery was when Sugar's driving and he just shoots the crow.
Yeah,
Like,
I forgot about that. But he misses.
Yeah. It goes, and then just flaps away with some feathers missing, and but then it sort of just goes to show that like it doesn't matter what it is, he just wants to fucking kill everything.
Anytime he has a chance to kill someone,
he's like, oh hello, crow. And he proper slows down as well, and he's like, I'm gonna.
So apparently that's where like psychopaths and serial killers start. They start with small animals.
Yeah, that's the whole
and
problem
they
with
move
children
up.
killing ants. And
If you have a kid that accidentally like kills frogs or whatever, you need to keep an eye on them because if they don't stop or they move up.
One of my friends had like their own with his sister had their own like surgery where they would get like ants or whatever that had like their legs taken off by them and then like try and glue them back together and stuff, which I found worrying.
But also like. I think that's like somewhat a thing as well, right?
Yeah, well, that's the problem. It's like, is your kid a psychopath or they're just a child?
Because it is. Yeah, children do that.
They just don't understand.
Yeah, and also that's what the problem with like bullying and stuff with children and stuff is they don't quite realise how
impactful that is,
how psychopathic they are.
Yeah, kids are little shit.
They just need
that's
to
for sure.
for sure.
They certainly are. And what else was there? There was a bit where, I love the bit when he's going over the bridge, Llewellyn's going over the bridge, and he's absolutely fucked after the scene in the hotel where Sugar.
Oh yeah, and
he's like, how much for the shirt? And give me the beer. And he's like, how much for the beer? And then the other guy's like, just give him the beer.
I remember that. Yeah. I can definitely relate to that. For sure.
Yeah.
And when he
which
is
interesting because that's what Javier does at the end. Whereas he's able to accept it. Javier would, be like, here's another 100 or whatever. Or he just kills him.
Yeah. And then when he walks past the guard at the Mexican border, which I find...
this is another note, because I never really knew when this was set when I used to watch it, and I made the note that he dies in 1980. So this is set in presumably either 1980 or 79.
They refer to he fought in Vietnam, went to two tours of Vietnam.
Just something I hadn't picked up when I was like young.
So
watching
that was when was that? That was the
60s.
Yeah. So
60s into 70s.
And it's sort of
maybe.
Yeah. No, I think it always surprises me. You think it's in the 70s, but I
think it definitely started in the 60s.
It's early 60s because it's early 60s because it's like then the swinging 60s and let's have a look. Ooh.
1969 is in my head.
Oh my god! It says 55 to 75. Doesn't sound right.
Might have been just the length of time the war might have been slightly shorter, maybe. I don't know.
Began in the 50s and greatly escalated in 65 until its withdrawal in 73. Yeah, fair enough.
Well, it was all post-war stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this film is brutal, but the one thing I find really bleak is how they're sort of chasing, everyone talks about like the American dream, whatever that is, and he's chasing the American dream, finds it, and then it ends up to be futile in the end. Like he doesn't even get killed by the person who's originally chasing him. Like, he doesn't get killed by Anton. He gets killed by those people in the truck, like them cartel members. So it's like all of the steps that he's taken, like we were saying at the start.
Does he bang that girl?
Well, we don't know. It's all open-ended. And was she in on it? Did she alert them?
Because that's what,
She knew who he was.
Yeah.
Drew him in with a womanly...
It could, yeah.
Because
what do you want?
I didn't get that.
She was also dead. She also got shot.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
so I thought that was just like.
But I think she probably got, because he had a gun.
Like,
he had a gun on his shoulder when he was talking
you're
to her.
in a place where they bloody love guns.
Yeah, but I mean, what I mean is that like she could have been in on it. She could have not been.
I don't.
She could have got caught in the crossfire. Whatever, Yeah. But yeah, it's like he's always trying to get out of his situation because he's been dealt a bad hand.
Yeah.
He's not having that bad a time though.
I mean, he lives in a trailer with.
But some people like being in trailers.
Yeah, but he obviously doesn't.
He's doing his hunting. He's doing his hunting. He's
He obviously doesn't like his situation. Otherwise, he wouldn't have. Yeah. He wouldn't have put himself at risk like that.
Sometimes, man.
Wouldn't mind just being out.
Yeah, but it's fine if you can leave. Like,
but also, I think it's like retrospective. At that time, that's a shit hand.
Whereas now
you look at it and you go, yeah, he's got his own trailer, his own truck. There's wilderness all around this trailer park. It's actually not that bad.
Hunting for his food.
I think it's once the drugs get involved. So it's like, especially with trailer parks, it's like once the meth is hitting.
Yeah, it just absolutely ruins the whole.
You don't want to be
community.
there. Yeah. And before that as well, with whatever else, coke, speed, blah blah blah. There is another drug, PCP. Was that the one before meth? PCP?
Yeah,
I think that
PCP.
was Angel Dust.
Well, there's
sounds
bath salt stuff, isn't there?
Bath salts is the mixture.
Yeah, well, it's the one that turned people into zombies,
meth,
basically.
and
acid, meth, and PCB.
There was a whole. When was that? I feel like when we were teenagers, there was a whole
allegedly.
About like bath salts just going around and people just turning into zombies. I don't know if that.
Yeah, there was a guy who fucking ate someone's face while they were on bath salts because they thought he was a zombie.
Yeah, pretty grim.
Overall, this film absolutely bangs.
Pretty good.
And
pretty good one.
It was.
It's I mean, I don't really have any bad notes for it.
I certainly wasn't.
Well, not bad.
I knew the entire film, so like rewatching it and analysing it isn't necessarily the most enjoyable way to watch this film.
No, yeah, for sure.
When I watched it when I was like 12, great. Oh my god.
No, my
god. So fucking
I remember the first time
I'm so cool for watching this.
The first time I ever watched this film. This is the second time I've watched this.
Really?
Yeah, second time for me as well.
And the first time I ever watched this film was on the way to a gig, funnily enough, in Brighton. And we were in the van on the way down, and I watched it on my mate's laptop.
Perfect
way to watch this cinematic masterpiece.
And it finished, and I was like, "Holy shit!" It's when he's describing his dream at the end. Oh my god, that's probably some of like, if you want to get into. I mean, I'm not an actor at all, but if you want to get into acting,
performance,
I would say that is like a fucking 101 class in acting. It's just incredible. Just the way he gets emotion into it.
And it's also about nothing. So it's about nothing. The dream's about
nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And what he's saying is about nothing, but it's also about everything that's happened in the film. In
well written, well performed.
Yeah.
Should we go through the numbers? And the ratings,
because I don't really have any more notes.
Going back to Sicario, so we'll go through the ratings first and see what you guys think to those. Because, like we said before, even though it didn't click with you guys,
I understand why people like.
And I get it. And Jules did mention as well that it was very well received, and it was, to be fair. So. 7.7 on IMDb, not to be sniffed at.
No.
And then
same as Mulan.
Yeah. And then your arguments come crumbling down at the end. And then 92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
92% is wild.
That's good. That's great.
That's good.
Certified
It's good.
fresh.
It's good. And then
Fresh as fuck.
so and again, like it was seen as a commercial success.
Yeah,
How much
I mean,
did it
they
make?
made a sequel?
It had so the budget was 30 million, approximately 30 million.
That's not bad.
And it grossed 85.9 million.
It cost 30 million and made 85.9.
Yeah.
That's not what I was expecting.
Why is this film so cheap?
Emily Blunt's got to be expensive.
Benicio at that point. Benicio and Josh Brolin. Why are they so cheap?
They'd be
Emily Blunt wouldn't
Surely
be that,
they're gonna get a
Emily
couple of
Blunt
million
wouldn't be
at least.
that expensive at this point.
a couple of million.
Edge of Tomorrow's the year before. Which was
Yeah.
a really good film.
2015.
She's great in that as well.
That is a good film.
Quiet Place hasn't came yet. I mean, she is famous.
There's some
Wears
expensive
Prada.
stuff to do in this film, though.
Yeah, but that didn't make her famous.
Nah, it's a good film though.
I haven't watched
Just
it.
want to say it.
I haven't watched it. Yeah.
There's some expensive stuff to
It's
do in
really
this film.
good.
They've got to do.
Daniel Kaluuya would be cheap as shit.
Yeah.
Um,
He wasn't really well known in America at that point, was he?
no, his accent is a bit strong, I think, at times.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, well, you like this film ridiculously. So.
Well, yeah. We're all entitled to our opinion.
Yeah.
And then No Country for Old Men got 8.2 on IMDb,
Should be higher, probably.
and then 93% on Rotten
Only
Tomatoes.
1% more.
Yeah. it's really-
8.2 is not high enough, and 93 is fine. But
And this was a smash in terms of budget.
Yeah, man, this is a big film.
Budget and gross, everything. It's just, I mean, like, I won't. Before I tell you the figure for the budget, it makes sense because it's lower than I think you would expect.
Yeah, I expect.
But
that.
this is Javier's like breakout film.
breakthrough
So he's
role,
not
yeah.
he's not famous. This is why he's then in like
Yeah.
James Bond.
And
But then
it's
if
a
you
simple-
think
it's a
about-
simple film in
Same
terms
with
of
like Christoph
pastime,
Yeah.
Waltz.
But
Then
if you think
see him
about all
everywhere after.
the props, location especially, like location is. It looks so cheap. They're just out in the wilderness for
trailer
most
park,
of
I mean,
it,
how much
and then
money
in a
does that
trailer park
cost?
and a seedy motel.
It's all
and-
on. It's,
yeah.
it's all on location in Texas because
Yeah.
that's a big thing push at the moment. They're trying to get a new Hollywood in Texas, essentially.
Yeah,
McConaughey and Harrison and all these.
like Joe Rogan's in Texas now.
Harley
Like-
Texas.
Yeah. I think that's one of the. I think that's one of the jokes that they like. Even they make. But basically, it's like tax credits. and
Texwood.
stuff They're trying to. Get.
Same with all film
With her,
production.
yeah.
Because
And that's why-
UK's got good.
Yeah. That's why Marvel started filming over in Pinewood.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago. I say a couple of years ago. 10 years ago.
Well, now it's got
whatever.
the whole industry behind it now.
Yeah.
It takes a
Yeah,
bit of
yeah,
time. But
But yeah, so
We pay for those Marvel films. It's like legit.
I don't
like
even
tax,
like
yeah, I don't like
tax,
them either.
tax money goes towards them.
So the budget was approximately 25 million,
yeah.
which makes sense. And then
It's cheap as shit.
2007, I suppose.
Still
and,
cheap as shit.
Still cheap.
the film was a major success at the box office, grossing 171.6 million worldwide.
Yeah.
That's a smash.
Although,
And you say those numbers, and that's why we're fucked at the moment. Because this is just proving before fucking Robert Downey Jr. has fucked it.
Yeah.
Everyone wants so much money.
Yeah.
These actors want so much.
25 million
fucking-
isn't enough to get a big name actor now.
20 is that the budget?
Yeah, for the
25
whole
million.
film, 25 million.
Do you know how much Robert Downey Jr. got paid for Captain America: Civil War?
Can I guess?
Sure,
50?
75.
40.
40 million
He got 40 million
for
that.
one film or the whole thing?
One film.
Fucking hell. We're in the
It's
wrong game,
estimated-
boys.
it's
Well, Johnny
it's-
Depp got 50 for Pirates of the Caribbean 3, maybe, or something?
He was.
Yeah, but that's-
and,
two of them.
and he's.
I don't
been-
mind that though,
And he's
'cause
been.
I like that film. I like those
the
films.
problem.
Yeah.
But he's been offered like 100 million and an apology to come back and do Pirates because they distance themselves. But it's reported that Robert Downey Jr. is going to get 100 mil for being Doctor Doom.
Which is crazy.
I mean, like, there's got to come a point, hasn't there, where like you think, I am financially secure, and maybe I just do it because
not the actors, it's
I
the
enjoy
studios paying
acting.
them.
It's the so back in the day.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah. So back in the day, studios would own the actors. You worked for a studio exclusively. That was it.
But yeah,
So
exactly.
a studio could make you do any film they wanted at any time, and basically you were pumping out 15 films a year, kind of thing, because it was all conveyor belt films.
You were tied to that studio.
The golden age of filmmaking. We have never made as many films as we did back in the 30s or whatever, because they used to pump them out. Because it was more like a soap opera, hour and a half long soap opera that would come out every other week or whatever.
Yeah, it's much more controlled.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And now you have agent. The problem is that you have middlemen with everything. So the studios have their lawyers, and then you have your agent, and so it's all done behind curtains. It's not Robert Downey Jr. talking to Kevin Feige about the pay. It's all left to other people that want to extract as much money out of it as possible because they make commission or they make percentage. Yeah. So it's all just fucked.
Yeah, right. So
I wonder what we're going to decide is a better film.
yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear cut, isn't it?
It's unfortunate because
I thought this would be an interesting one to do because I thought that
it'd be close.
Yeah,
and it should be.
Because
like we said, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. But cinematically wise, it's pretty similar, I'd guess. Like they're both like really well shot, really like tense.
No,
when
like
they need to be.
When I first Googled No Country for Old Men, the first recommendation was Sicario.
They're both good in their own right, but if we had to choose, what are we going for?
No Country.
Yeah, No Country, and I will watch No Country again, and I will never watch Sicario again.
I'd be interested to watch Sicario too, maybe, just to see what it is,
what they do.
But instead of fighting the need, the desire to sleep, if I do get sleepy in number 2, I'll go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, I was like, stay awake, Denis.
It is hard sometimes.
Oh yeah, I would choose No Country for Old Men.
Cool.
Absolutely. Although, I mean, like I say, I mean, I'm of the opinion that I like both of them, but I really like No Country for Old Men. I forgot how good it was, and the second time watching it, there's so many things I forgot about that were just.
Is this like your favourite film, then, Jules?
A feast for the eyes.
You really like Go Brother Where Art Thou?
Yeah, I mean, I do.
Is that the one with George Clooney in it?
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
I think I've seen that one. Oh yeah. When he's
they become singers, don't they?
The folk artists.
A while ago.
They become the folk artists, don't they?
Yeah. On the run from the chain gang.
Yeah, it's a really weird film.
It's very Coen Brothers.
It's very Coen Brothers.
From what I can tell.
Yeah.
I really love Fargo, personally.
Yeah, I do. I like Fargo.
Is that Coen Brothers?
Yeah.
So they make the sort of films that I just
Fargo is good.
starting to nestle into in my old age.
Yeah. In your old age.
Jules will be in.
You're younger than both of us.
In 10 years from now, Jules will be doing what your dad did when it was on the TV. He'll just
standing there. Oh, I do have some gardening to do, but
I do need to go and water the greenhouse.
No Country for Old Men. Oh, it's been a while. I'll just watch 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Fall straight asleep.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool.
I've got another note that just says that's what happens when you chop the head off a chicken.
We'll leave it there.
That's going in the trailer. So thank you very much for listening to this episode of the This or That podcast. We'll be back again soon with another couple of films to go over. I've been Ed.
I've been Callum.
And I'm Jules.
Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.